Hello everyone! Welcome back to Board Games, which I still haven't thought of a more imaginative name than that, I'm afraid. But it's Board Games with Evil Dr. Ganymede. Yeah, welcome back. We are on a new game today. And I will show you the box for it. Voila. Space Empires 4X. So this is by GMT Games, by Jim Cron. Hopefully I've got his name right there. It's a bit of a classic, but it's it's kind of like it's basically a sort of space war game, which is quite cool. It's there's not an awful lot of sci-fi war game type things around. I guess the obvious ones are going to be Starfleet Battles, Federation and Empire, all that kind of stuff from that. In terms of big spaceship things, but yeah, Space Empires, as the box suggests here, I'll bring it up again, is a 4X game. It is, if you're familiar with games like Eclipse or Twilight Imperium, though it's that kind of thing. You're going out in space, and of course, there's a whole load of computer games that are like that as well. The Stellaris is a good example of one, I think. But you basically have an empire. You go out in space and go and explore stuff. What is it? It's explore, exploit, exterminate, and expand, or something. Yeah. Explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. Ordinarily in a multiplayer game, you would have up to 4 player empires in the little coloured areas here. But we're going to be doing the solo game today, wherein we will be attempting to survive an onslaught of doomsday machines, which are these little guys. They are basically, they're exactly what they sound like. They're big planet-killing monsters. The coral thing in the original Star Trek episode, from whence their name comes from. The Death Stars, Unicron, whatever. There are these things that are berserkers that are coming our way, launched by some unknown race, and they're coming our way to eat all our planets and destroy everything we have. So I'm going to try and stop them. And try is the operative word here, because I have no idea whether I will succeed or not. They're quite scary in the base game, like the multiplayer game where they can show up. But in this game, they're even more scary in the solo version. They just can completely annihilate you, and they're much tougher than they are in the multiplayer game. So what you see here is in red. The little red tiles are my space. The white areas are deep space, and deep space is considerably more risky. The red areas, like the player areas, the home systems are what these are called, this whole red area. The home systems are generally, there's not too many horrible things in there. They're like planets and minerals and stuff like that. The deep space areas have the deadlier side of the unknown. They have more black holes and supernovas and alien planets and dangers and things like that. So it's a considerably riskier proposition. And also out there, look, the Doomsday Machines. Now the way this is going to work is we're going to play through the game. Basically, obviously the first thing you're going to do is we're going to start here and explore outwards. So this is our home world. Explore out, flip these tiles over, see what they've got, bring back resources, start building ships and so on. And we're basically going to be getting ready for the waves of the machines. So there's going to be 3 machines coming, and they are going to arrive. We're going to be doing the normal difficulty for this. So they are going to arrive. I'll show you the rule here. So they're going to arrive on turn 7, turn 9 and turn 10. I don't actually know if we're going to get all the way up to the end tonight or whether we're going to have to overflow on Monday, finish it off on Monday evening. But hopefully we're going to get at least to the point of the first and maybe the second arriving. The first few turns should go reasonably quickly, because that's basically just me exploring space and flipping things over and then doing some calculations of what I want to build and so on. So the way this is going to work is you can see this the track on the side here, which is slightly oddly laid out, because what actually happens during the game is you have turn 1 where you move your ships, explore, i.e. flip over tiles, and then any combat happens, and that's it. That's basically the turn order. That happens in this turn 1. Then you do that all again. So move, explore, combat, and then you do it all again. Move, explore, combat, and then at the end of this you get the economic phase, which is broken down into all these little bits. So it's kind of odd that they put that before the turn track rather than after it, but this is all basically the calculation of how much resources did you collect over the 3 turns, how much are you going to allocate to building various things. And we actually have a handy dandy little production sheet here that we can use. So we're going to be filling this out as we go along, and each column is a turn basically, or a full turn, a full phase, I guess they call it. We calculate that all here. We build all the stuff we need from all the counters that we have just off the board here. We build all our stuff, and then we have at it on the next 3 turns of the next phase. What are they actually called? The timing units here. It's a bit weird. Yeah, I don't know if there is a sort of collective word for it, but it's the whole turn 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus economics. That's one whole thing, and then you repeat that over and over. Now the Doomsday Machines are going to come out, like I said, on specific economic phases. They're going to come out on the 7th, the 9th and the 10th, and they're going to get progressively stronger, and they're going to come out from one of these yellow locations that I've just marked with ships from another faction here. So I'm going to be playing red. So these are the entry points that they're going to come out of, and we're going to see basically they're going to start munching their way in towards my colonies, which I will have established, and I'm going to have to fend them off with my big fleets and hope they will survive. And they are going to be quite tough. Normally in this game, when you're playing multiplayer, your opponent's ships like yours can usually take 1 or maybe 2 hits or something. But these guys can take anywhere from 7 to 11 hits, which is quite terrifying. So we're going to really have to throw everything we've got at them. So, without further ados, hopefully that all makes some kind of sense. It'll make more sense once you see things in action. Those of you watching who may be familiar with Space Empires, it's not entirely clear what sort of rules I can use with the solo game here, but I'm going to use all of the base game. So I've only got the base set available for this at the moment. I do have the Replicators expansion, which is the second expansion, and that has a whole bunch of these little tiles, you know, they basically replace these little tiles when they flip over. So I do have that. I'm not using anything from it apart from those tiles. I don't have the first expansion, which is called Close Encounters, but that is actually on the way to me because it just got reprinted by GMT, which I am very glad for, because that has just a ton of options that you can use in the game. And the great thing about Space Empires is that you can you know, really mix and match stuff. Like you know, the base game has quite a lot of things in it already. Like, it's got your basic stuff, you know, it's got your colony ships and, you know, cruisers and battle cruisers and all this sort of stuff. The advanced game in the base set, so the advanced rules, you've got merchant ship pipelines, carriers, fighters, point defense, raiders, which can cloak, mines and minesweepers, and aliens living on alien planets. It's got a few optional rules as well. What I am going to be using are obviously the Doomsday machines themselves. I'm going to be using warp points. They are going to be a thing. They may not show up, but if they do, they are going to be a thing. I'm going to be using instant technology upgrades, because not doing that is a ton of bookkeeping. And I'm going to be using the merchant ship pipelines, the MS pipelines. And I'm going to be using carriers, fighters, raiders, mines, and minesweepers. I'm not going to be using alien planets. The advanced rules basically say if you flip over a planet in deep space, then it's inhabited by aliens and you have to defeat them to go anywhere, but I figure I'm going to have enough trouble here. So the planets in deep space are just barren, basically, uninhabited. So we'll see how it goes, basically. Right. I guess let's begin by, I should actually put my stuff on the board, shouldn't I? Right, I need 3 colony ships. I should have kind of put all these in a big pile, which I should have spread out. So I've got 3 colony ships. Oops, sorry, that's what they look like. In fact, let me do something here, because there we go. That'll be a bit better. Right. So I have the colony ships. They flip over, and they make a colony eventually. But they're on the board as ships at the moment, so I will put them the right way up. So they start off on my home planet. I get a miner, and the miners are, where are the miners? There's a miner, so that is a miner. Hopefully you can see that. The other thing I have are 3 scouts and 4 shipyards. Right, so Shipyard is over here. We've got a whole ton of pipelines clogging everything up now. Yep. Sorry, I should have sorted this all out a little earlier. I forgot that I had to do that though. Right, shipyards. Go flip all these counters over and actually see what they all are. Shipyard, right. So, one of the things in the game here is that we have these numbered counters, and they go underneath the counters here, the actual counters, to signify how many of them there are. So I have 4 shipyards on my fleet, on my home world at the bottom here, and I have 3 scouts which are going to be toddling off in various directions. So I've got scout 3 there. I've got DD scout pipeline scout 2, and where is scout 1? Where are you, scout 1? Come in. It should be around somewhere. Scout, 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 scout. Where are you? Can't find any of them. Hang on, there's one. Ah, there he is. Right, scout 1, scout 2. These are what the scouts look like. They're just little tiny little ships. Right, all good to go. Sorry, forgot about that little aspect of the setup. Right, so let's get going. Turn 1. So I'll move. I've got a little number on the track there, which you can hopefully see. I don't know if I should grab something that's maybe a brighter colour or something. Let's have a look. Let's grab something green. That'll stand out a little bit more. There we go. Right. Excellent. So, sorry if the lighting is not great. Still trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, basically. But hopefully it'll suffice. I've got most of the glare on the empty part of the board over here. Hopefully you can see all the counters. They'll get a bit bigger when we actually get going. Right. So, first things first. Let's move. So everything can move at a speed of 1 at the beginning. I suppose I should show you the sheet here a little more carefully. So up here is where we've got all the tracking of the spending. And at the bottom here is a technology chart. So as we progress, like, we're going to actually buy technology by spending points here that we get from colonies and resources and minerals and stuff like that. And we're going to start spending them and we're marking down all these technologies that we have, and that they're going to improve our ships, which is going to be critical here because we're going to need all the improvements we can get. So, first things first, let's start spreading out and seeing what happens. Now, it is a bit risky because we don't know what anything is yet, so it's conceivable that we may actually end up finding something that kills us. even in the relatively safe parts of space. But I'm going to fly out here. So I move my scouts out to the neighboring hexes here. And I'm going to risk sending my miner out over here with this scout, and I'm going to risk sending a colony ship out here in the hope that this is going to be a planet and not something horrible. So that's our move phase, because there's nothing else to move, and I don't want to move the rest of the colony ships quite yet. So that's a move. Now we explore. Oh, it's a planet. Fion. It's a mineral and another mineral. So this is what exploring is. We just flip the counters over and grab a whatever it is, planet, mineral, resource. So I have just found the planet Fion, which you can see the slight improvement from the tiny little tiles that came with the original game to the fancy tiles that came with the Replicators expansion. So I can put that here, and I'll stick the colony ship over the ready-made full colony at the bottom there, and then I can get rid of the tiny little tile for that. So that's good, because that means that the colony ship has basically found the planet and can land on it and will do its thing. And colony ships basically settle on the planet and they kind of convert themselves into the colony eventually during the economic phase. The miner has fortuitously come across a mineral 5, so that basically means that, you know, whatever, there's a big asteroid made of metal somewhere that it's latched onto, so it's going to pick that up. It can just do that straight away, and the scout can just go, hey, there's a big mineral thing here, guys, and tell everyone else about it, and that's basically all that can do there. That's it for the first turn. Now we go into the second turn. We repeat the process. So moving, exploring, and combat if that happens. So we're gonna stick our miner back here, and he's gonna drop off the mineral at our colony or the homeworld. These guys are gonna proceed outwards into space. I feel like this colony ship is going to go that way. The other colony ship is going to go this way. And then we explore. Flip this over, we got another mineral. Oh, we got a black hole. Right, so that's fun because black holes are bad news. So we get a black hole, and we put this here, and we orient it the same way, I suppose. So now our scout is in trouble. They might actually be destroyed here. So we basically roll the dice. We've got 10-sided dice with this, and we roll the dice and do a black hole survival check, and that means we roll 1 to 6. The ship is fine. 7 to 10, it's destroyed. So I've got my handy dandy dice tray here, and I rolled a 5, and that means it is no effect. So the scout survives its perilous encounter and carries on. I just realised this is a hex-shaped dice tray, which is going to be fitting in quite nicely with this. Right. Colony ships are out here. This guy has to explore as well. He has found the planet Sheldon. So that's nice. It's another colony, another prospective colony anyway. Let's try and find where it is. There it is, planet Sheldon. That's what Sheldon looks like. Excellent. Well, there's a colony ship on the way, so that's good. And that is the end of turn 2. Now we move on to turn 3 of the first phase. I guess we'll call them phase or phases. So colony ship does not want to go to that black hole. Thank you very much. That's not a good idea at all. Now we've only got 3 scouts here, and we got this whole red area to explore. Now the good thing is that there's only one black hole in the home system, so we found the trouble spot. Where do we want to go from here? I kind of want to explore these bits in the middle here. But that would mean... I'll try and sort of figure out how to do this efficiently. I guess I'm going to move Scout 3 out there. And I guess I'm going to move Scout 2 out from the black hole over there. And I'm going to move Scout 1 down here. And then I'm going to move colony ship number 2 over here to land on Sheldon. Colony ship 3 is going to gonna head up with scout number 2. I just want to double check something on that actually. Because there's something about moving that right, so yeah, the colony ships usually can't enter a face down hex unless there's a combat capable ship with them, so a scout is combat capable, so that's fine. Right, and that's moved there. They've settled. Miner is going to come out here and pick up that mineral. Won't be able to bring it back this turn, unfortunately. Right, so exploring. We're going to flip number 1. And we found a nebula. And then nebulas also have the slightly fancier tiles. So I'll explain them in a minute. Flip this over, and unfortunately it's another mineral, so the colony can't form there. And where did Scout 3 go? Scout 3 went to asteroids. Asteroids look like this. So nebulas, I don't know what the word is, nebulae technically, and asteroids are environmental, they're kind of like terrain basically. Nebulae are, think of, I mean, they're, you know, the big gas clouds in space, clouds of gas and dust. Think of the, what is it called, the Mutara Nebula in Star Trek, Wrath of Khan. So think of that, and remember it's all like, you know, lightning bolts and flickering screens, and your shields don't work and everything. So nebulae cancel out any defense technology that ships have, except of course I think the Doomsday machines are immune to that. But any player ships, their defensive technology does not work. Asteroids, think Star Wars basically. It's the old lots of rocks tumbling around. which they're nothing like that in real life. I should hasten to point out. But in the game, asteroids negate all your attack technology because of all that stuff flying around, basically, in the fictional universe. So these are going to be interesting. I think they're not going to be useful for us in the solo game because I think the Doomsday machines just don't care about terrain generally. They might even be able to completely ignore the black holes, which is not ideal. So that is the end of turn 3 of the first phase. So we can get on with the filling of the sheet, basically. So I'm going to do that. Can't really do it on camera, unfortunately. Let's see what I can do here. So you're not just staring at a blank space here. So first up, we tot up our colony points, and we have at the moment just the 20 from the home system. So we write down 20 there. Then we add up mineral CPs. So mineral CPs are these things. They're the construction points. They're only count when they're dropped off at a colony or a homeworld. So in this case, we managed to drop one off our homeworld, which was a value of 5. So I've got 20 plus 5. I don't have any merchant ship pipelines yet, so I leave that off. But when we do connect, so like this is what a merchant ship pipeline is, and when I do build those and then move them out, and then I can basically sort of connect up my colonies in a kind of network, these will let my ships move quicker when they're moving along them. They can also cancel out the black hole if the merchant ship moves into there, survives, then they can basically sort of station themselves in a safe spot and broadcast a little beacon that lets all of my ships bypass the black hole, and they can actually go through that hex, which is quite handy. But they have to survive that initial chance of destruction. Yeah, they're quite handy, but we haven't got them at the moment because we've got to build them. Now maintenance, so I guess we'll write total of 25 in there. Maintenance is equal to the whole size of the ships that you have that are, I guess, that are combat capable. So all I'm paying maintenance for at the moment is I'm not paying the shipyards, the colony, or the miner. I'm only paying the scout. So I've got 3. So I just write 3 there. There's no turn order bid. So I have a grand total of 22 points. Now I can use that to either buy technology or spend on building ships. So buying technology, I just look at this chart down here, and I see there's numbers in brackets. That's how many CPs that I have to spend to build those things. At the moment, like, it would be nice to start increasing my ship size, because if I increase my ship size, that means I can start building bigger ships, which I will show you in a second. Let me just fill this up in here. Shall I put that there? Sorry, I'm just moving stuff around. There we go. On the computer. Right. So, I will show you this. So this chart basically tells you how valuable everything is, how many points it costs to build everything. And it's a really handy player aid. It's got pretty much everything you need to know to play the game. So the thing we're interested in at the moment, we're probably going to be looking at more colony ships, maybe more scouts, probably more miners, because you can never have enough miners mopping up all those minerals lying around. Since we are at turn 1, I think we were looking at 7, 9, and 10 for those ships to come in, the Doomsday ships to come in. So we've got a bit of time to build up our forces. I am going to build. I'm going to upgrade my ship size for a start. So we're gonna. We're going to circle the 2 here, and we're going to put up here. We're going to put 10. I'm going to put SS, 1, and then brackets 10. So that means I've spent 10. And I'm going to put a little subtotal down there. So I've got 12 points left. That's not really a great number. Wow. Guess I can build. I can't even build a miner and a colony ship, because colony ships cost 8 to build and miners cost 5, so that would make a grand total of 13. Do I want more? 2 miners, or do I want a scout? I can build a scout for 6. That would increase my maintenance cost though. Also, this mineral is now used up, so I'm going to get rid of that. So a miner. If I build a colony ship, that's 8. But that basically means I can't build anything else, because the cheapest other thing I can build is a miner, and that's 5. I could build. I could build an MS pipeline. They're 3. If I build 2 MS pipelines, I can basically park one at Altair and then move one out to Fionn, and then that will connect those up, and then I'll get an extra point. Is that worth it? I'm going to do a colony. So 1 times CO is 8, and 1 times MS is 3. I have, so that's 11. I have 1 left. Nothing up on upgrades, and there's no maintenance increases or decreases. So at the moment, I'm basically going down this this track here, on the table. So once I have purchased them, I have I've got 1 pipeline, which is a bit useless on its own, and I've got 1 new colony ship, which I'm going to park on my colony, my homeworld, and they're all built at the shipyard. Now I can upgrade the shipyards as well at some point, and that will let me build more and bigger ships. But at the moment I can build 4, because I have 4 shipyards here, I can build 4 hull points worth of ships at that shipyard. And each of these is 1 hull point. Right, that is. I guess we'll put we will actually put this thing up there to denote that it is turn 1. And then we're at the end of the economic phase, and we're not at the end of the economic phase. We gotta increase our colonies. So these guys, are going to turn into. Where's my bag that has all this colonies? Oh yeah. So at the end of the economic phase, all your landed colony ships become actual colonies. So now these are 2 colonies with a value of 1. So they're going to give us 1 point each in the next economic phase. And then at the end of that, they're going to upgrade into 3. And at the end of the next phase, they're going to upgrade into 5. And that's their ultimate form, basically. Right. That's it. So, no Doomsday Machines yet. Now we're on round or phase, whatever we're going to call this, number 2. And we just go through this all again. So we're back to there. We don't need to worry about turn orders or anything like that. Now we can keep going on. So first we're going to drop the miner back here. Second, we're going to oops, sorry, I moved that. That should be on its own hex. I'm going to move these 2 out here. Again, slightly risky. I don't think there's going to be anything too destructive out here. I'm going to move him out there. Going to move this guy down here. And I'm going to move the colony ship out here in the hope that there's going to be something over here. Right. Moving done. Exploring. We have a planet. We have Antares. We have another mineral. And we have a Cerberus planet. Excellent. That's quite good. So, where's Cerberus? There are our new worlds, Cerberus and Antares, which are going to be placed down here. Now, he didn't have a colony ship with him. No, he did. Did he? No, he didn't. Antares had the colony ship. So you're over here. Lots of fiddly little counters. There we go. Right. Good. That's a pretty interesting place, being right next to a black hole. Right. So minerals dropped off. Colony ships have moved on their planets and stuff. Things are being revealed. Right. End of the first thing, because there's no combat. So second turn, I'm going to continue out here. I'm going to head over to the outermost reaches there. I'm going to go up there, I think. Am I going to go up there? No, I'm going to come back this way. Okay. Miner is going to come out here. That colony ship's just kind of sitting around. Where's he going to go? He could make it to Cerberus if he moves. Yeah, he's going to move it to Cerberus. Oh no, my luck, this is going to be a planet. But he's going to make it there at the end of the phase anyway. Right, that's all of them. So now we flip. We have another mineral. Flip. That's another mineral. It's a planet. So Anion. So this is a barren planet. So this is a world that requires terraforming to actually be able to put a colony on there. So I'm going to stick that there. I think actually let's cover Cerberus's colony spot there with its planet, so that I know that it's not actually a colony 5. Right. I think that's everyone flipped over and moved. I didn't move the miner, did I? Because he was already there at the first turn. So he's going to move up here. Sorry, he should have moved. Technically, he should have moved before I flipped everything over. But I'm going to let myself just do that because it's not really critical. So he basically moves over here and he picks up the mineral. Now he can return that down to Fion. He doesn't have to go all the way back to Altair to do that. So then we're on turn 3, and we do that again. So this, like, the first part of the game here is pretty much you just explore and you're flipping stuff over, and you know there's a few things that are happening, but it's not too big a deal. So I should be able to get through this chunk reasonably quickly. Most of the time is going to be taken by figuring out what I'm going to build. Especially when we get up to, you know, when we've explored all of the normal system worlds, the red ones. So turn 3. Well, let's move the miner back down to Fion. Let's move the colony ship to Cerberus, where it will land. Miner is going to dump its cargo on Fion. So it has to dump the cargo on a homeworld or a colony that has at least a value of 1. Yeah, this area is very inefficiently explored, unfortunately. Going to move him up there. Going to move him over there. Going to move him up there. Nothing else is going to be able to move. Mine has just dumped everything there. Yeah, so I think that's everybody's moved. So flip. Yet another mineral. Yet another mineral. And the planet. We have the planet Essen. Named after, of course, the board gaming city, I believe, in Germany. Little homage. This game has a lot of homages to things. I mean, there's obviously some real things, like Antares is a real star, Essen's a city, Sheldon. I actually thought that was originally thought that was named after Sheldon in Big Bang Theory, but of course it's actually Harry Sheldon from the Foundation books. I don't think Big Bang Theory was around when this was originally released. So, have we done everything? I think we have. Right, so I am going to do the thing in here. Let me grab something a little harder to write on. How's everything looking? Reasonable, I suppose. Right, let's see if I can do this now. Right, now we have 2 minerals dropped off, and we have our 20 homeworld, and we have a 1 colony and another 1 colony, so we've got 22 colony points. We got 1 held over from last turn, and we've got 10 minerals that were dropped off. So we got 2 5s, that's 10, which gives us, we haven't got any pipelines yet because we haven't built enough of them, but that gives us considerably more. That gives us 22, 32, 33. We still have 3 scouts. That's our maintenance. So we have a total of 30. I don't know if you can actually see this. So what are we going to do? So we've got ship size 2 at the moment. That lets us build things that it's not actually the whole size, it's just things that say must have ship size 2. So destroyers can be built. I would like to get up to ship size 3 though, because that lets us build cruisers. They cost 12 to build. They're a bit better at attacking stuff, which I'll get to when we actually have to attack things. They have a defense strength of 1. They're also a bit tougher. They have 2 hull points. But more importantly, they can be equipped with exploration technology, which means that we don't have to go into a hex to flip it over and possibly get destroyed by whatever is there, especially when it comes to these deep space things. So exploration lets us use our cruisers to basically sidle up to the hex next to these things that we want to explore, and we can just flip them over and have a look, and then not reveal them. And that means that I mean, in a solo game, it doesn't really matter. The revealing doesn't really matter because you're not hiding it from anyone else. But more importantly, it means that we can look at them and then go, oh, I don't really want to make that thing active or whatever that is. So you know, we don't get destroyed by it, basically. So if it's like a danger thing or a lost in space or a doomsday machine or whatever, you don't actually trigger that just by looking at it with the exploration tech. But you have to buy the exploration technology, which is 15 points to do that. So at the moment, I think it's 15 points to build or build up to ship size 3. So I'm going to spend that, so I've got 15 points left. That gives us a little bit more wiggle room in terms of what we can build, which is still pitifully little at the moment. Like by about turn 5 or 6, we should hopefully end up with about 40 odd at least 40 colony points, possibly more, maybe 60. So do I need a colony ship? Yes, definitely need a colony ship for Essen. Not going to be able to do anything with Anion until I get the terraforming tech, which is 20 points, so that's a ways off yet. But that will let us colonize Anion as if it's a normal planet. If I get a colony ship for 8, and that leaves 7 left over, which I can use for a miner, I believe. The miner is 5. Colony ship is 13. So annoyingly, I'm one short of an MS pipeline. Nuts. Okay, well, I'm going to get a colony ship for 8, and I'm going to get a miner for 5. That's a grand total of 13. That leaves 2 points left over. That's what we're looking at right now. Hopefully you can see that. So we've got 2 points left over for next turn. That was the end of turn 2, by the way, so now we're going to be, I wonder if I should put these out at the start. Yeah, so now we're on turn 3. We're going to be doing economic phase 3 at the end of this, in the third column. Right, so back to the beginning. Let's keep going. So I've got a slight problem there. Where's my other scout gone? Hang on, there's scout 1. Scout 2. Where did scout 3 go? I lost the scout. Did I just remove him? I removed him for some reason. Why did I remove him? He found Essen, didn't he? Well, he shouldn't have been removed. He's still there. I think I probably removed him because I thought it was a colony ship, but I'm pretty sure that's where he was. Somebody must have found that one, so it's got to be him. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Brain fart. Clearly. Now, do I want to go over here and explore this one and then just get kind of cut off, or do I want to, because I basically have to go there and either risk going through here in turn 2 and then hop over here, or I come back here and then go through there. That is a potential Doomsday Machine entry point later on as well. I suppose fortune favours the brave. Let's move him over there. Let's move you over here. Let's move you up here. Sorry, I've completely forgotten things. Before we do any of that, I completely forgot to finish off the economic phase, because I've done everything. I'm going to build the ships, so I'm going to put a colony ship there. I've got to put a miner down here, and now I've got to expand my colonies, so these flip over to a 3, these flip over to a 3. The colony ships on Cerberus and Antares turn into 1s. There we go. And then we can actually carry on. So now we're on the start of turn 3. So yeah, he's going to move over here. He's going to move over here. He's going to move up there. Colony ship is going to move over there. We'll get to Essen eventually. At the end of the third turn. The miner is going to come out to Cerberus, and this miner is going to go over here and pick up this bit, this mineral. So it's kind of tough to keep track of things. I think I haven't really been demonstrating it very well, but it's better to just basically go move one type of ship first, then move another one, then move another one. I find, like, move all your miners first, then move all your colony ships, then move all your scouts in sequence and so on, just so you keep track of what's moved. So that's everybody. Let's flip things. So we got a nebula, we got the planet Omicron, and we got more asteroids. There's asteroids for you. There is a planet Omicron for you. There we go. Don't remove the scout this time. And the nebula here gets replaced with a nebula tile. And there we go. Colony ship moved, and that was it, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. Turn number 2. We are going to move the colony ship to Anion. We are going to risk going into deep space here and hopefully not get blown up, but it's very likely that I will. We're going to drop this back off to Fion, go over here and pick this up, and we're going to move the scout back to here. Again, I just did that in completely nonsensical order, and we're going to hop down here. And you can see we're very close to having explored all of my home system. If yeah, we've basically got 2 more spaces to explore after this. We just got these 2, but we have to see if scout number 3 over here survives or whatever this is. So flip. We've got a mineral again. We've got the planet Athos over here, which is Comsar. Oops. And now we see whether this survives. So there's one more planet, and it's going to be one of these 2, but is this going to survive? We're going to flip over a deep space tile. It's a danger! Oh no, I think danger means that I am dead. It's your typical orange swirly thing off the starboard bow, Captain, and then it blows up. When the marker is revealed, all units in the hex are destroyed. The marker is then removed from play. So, we have our first casualty. We have lost a scout. R.I.P. Scout number 3. We never knew your name. But you will be remembered. There will be memorials. Although we might have to wait till the Doomsday Machines have passed, because there may not be a point in having a memorial if we're all going to be dead. So, interesting. So that killed my scout. That also means, however, that I have 1 less maintenance now. I guess, where do I put that? Down there, I guess. Right. we got 2 more planets, so that's nice. But we're down a scout. Right. That was turn 2, right? Turn 3. Right. So let's do the miners first. Miner is going to drop this back off at Cerberus. So he's come here, you. He is dropping off mineral 5. This miner is going to saunter through the nebula over here. And he's going to head over to these minerals over here. Scout 2 is going to fill the role of Scout 3. Scout 1 doesn't have an awful lot to do, but may just go scout this just for funsies, because they're fearless, our scouts. They crave the unknown, even though it may destroy them with tentacles or spatial anomalies or whatever. Colony ship is going to arrive at Essen, and that's all that can do. And I believe that's everybody. So let's flip scout number 2. That is mineral, so that's going to be the other planet by process of elimination. Let's see what scout number 1 finds. Oh, he's found another danger. You can see it's literally a little glowy, swirly light thing. So scout 1 is also destroyed, laughing in the face of danger as his ship disintegrates around him. Well, them, because there's a whole bunch of them probably on the ship. I just murdered 50 crew. I'm sorry. Curse you, danger. Right. Well, that was interesting. So we've lost, at least our maintenance costs have gone down though, you know, looking on the bright side. So we've got almost everything discovered, which is nice. So let's scooch over here and have a look, see at what we've got. So we've got 2 left over from last turn. Oops, yeah, you can see that very well. Hopefully that's better. We've got colony points now we've got 2 brand new colonies. So that's 1, 2. We've got these middle-aged colonies, they're total of 6, so that's 8. And then we got the 20 from our home world, so we have a grand total of 28. We have mineral CPs. We've got 2 5s that were brought back by our miners, which is another 10. So we have a grand total of now 40. 28, 38 plus 2, which is quite nice. Our maintenance costs have now dropped significantly because Scout 2 is the only survivor of the Danger Massacre. So we have 39 points to spend. That's much better. Right. Should start doing things. Exploration, I feel, is going to be quite useful. So let's buy Exploration 1 for 15. That puts us down to 24, which gives us quite a bit to buy ships. So I can buy a cruiser. I can buy 2 cruisers. That's all I would be able to build though, because cruisers have a hull size of 2. If you have a look at our table here, so we look at the CA cruisers, 12 points, hull size of 2. So I have 4, remember I have 4 shipyards. They each can build a hull size of 1. So that means that I can build a total of hull size of 4, so that's 2 cruisers. I could do that though, but that means I would not be able to get colonies. Because I have 24 left, and I have basically 3 colonies to build. Yeah, so I think actually I'm going to build 3 colony ships. We use up all 24 of those. I have none left. I'm going to place my ships because damn it, they're not going to get all the way out there, but if I build them here, then 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then the other one will head off from there. So I can build 2 at least, because that's going to be the last planet that we're going to build. And then we upgrade our colonies, so the 3s become 5s now, so I can just take off the counters and reveal the 5s that are on the tiles, on the new tiles, and the 1s become 3s. That always happens at the end of the economic phase. We're just basically on here now, and away we go again. So we are now on turn number 4. We're on turn number 4. And let's get going. Turn number 4. Or yeah, phase number 4, turn 1. It's kind of backwards to me, because of usually in role-playing games and things like that, phases, you like D&D, you have turns the biggest time unit, then rounds, and then if you have anything smaller than a round, it's a phase. Whereas in this game, it's kind of like the whole thing should be a turn, and like this should be like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then economic phase or something, but they've numbered it funny. Right, anyway, let's get our colony ships going. So 1 2 sorry, before we do that, Essen should have become a colony 1 in that last phase there, the upgrading colonies, because their colony ship had parked there. Right, so we're going to get 2 guys over there, and oh crap, you can't get there, can you, because you've got the black hole. Nuts. Well, they're all going to go that way, and then they'll have to go round, so it's going to be a bit delayed, unfortunately. Ah, that's really annoying. Forgot about the black hole. What I could do is move the pipeline out and move that into the black hole, because if the pipeline survives, then he can just stay there, and then there can be a route back and forth through the black hole hex. So that might be an idea. If he blows up, he blows up. Right, miners. So all 3 colony ships have moved. I'm going to move the scout as well, so he's going to go to Antares. The miners are going to pick up 1 there, and you're going to pick up, or you're going to head off to the nebula there. That's everyone, because I've got less ships. Right, turn number 2. We're going to move 2 of you up here and to be over here. We're going to move you back to the nebula and you out to pick that one up, or that mineral up, and we're going to move you over here, and we're going to move you into there. Right, so another actual dice roll. Black hole. Let's see if the pipeline survives. He needs to get a 6 or less. He got a 5. Yes, so he basically can stay there. So now he's at like an anchor point. And he's going to be just parked in a stable orbit around the black hole, where he's not getting irradiated or whatever. And he'll have a little flashy light on him and the radio beacon or whatever, and he'll be saying, hey, come over here, don't head that way because that way is a black hole. And then we can bypass the danger there, so that's pretty cool. Right, this will flip over and that will reveal the last planet, which is called Vortigern, which I don't know where that comes from. I was gonna say Half-Life, but I think they're called Vortigaunts in Half-Life, the aliens in that. Unless that's where their homeworld is, I don't know. What is Vortigern? I'm going to look that up. Vortigern. Is that a planet? No. It is not a planet. It is actually a warlord. Possibly a 5th century warlord in Britain, known perhaps as a King of the Britons. Or at least connoted as such in the writings of Bede. There we go. I guess Rutger Hauer played him in something. Because there's a picture of Rutger Hauer. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it was in Merlin. That's why. Right, anyway. Arthurian thing, anyway. Right. There we go. Learned something historical from a sci-fi game. So that flipped that over. That was it, really, wasn't it? And I've moved the scout again, haven't I? Where did I put the scout? Yeah, sorry, he's still there. He doesn't go anywhere. Is the scout feeling suicidal? Because he might go out and explore this one. Because might as well. Not much use for anything else. So this is how we've basically explored all of our home system. Now we've revealed all the hexes. We just got to go mop up all the resources. So let's start with the miners. Let's bring you back to Fionn. Let's bring you back down here to go to Cerberus. We'll plonk colony ship number 1 on Athos, and we'll have colony ship number 2 head past Athos towards Omicron. We will get the colony ship number 3 over Antares on the way to Vortigern. And we're going to move our suicidal scout out into that hex to see if that is a danger as well, or if it's actually something nice. So, flip that over. Lost in space! Oh. Now, interestingly, what does that do in a solo game? Player to the right of the revealing player immediately shifts the unit 1 hex in any direction. So it's a randomly determined thing. Of course, I do not have a D6 here. So I'm going to just roll D10. 1 to 6. So I'm going to basically go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 is straight up and we'll go clockwise. 1 to 6. If I roll 7 to 0, I'm just going to re-roll. That's an 8. That's 9. Of course it is. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's actually going to move over here and reveal this one, which is Arrakis. Again, I told you this game is full of homages. So he's wandered off in that direction and ends up at Arrakis, which is, of course, the planet that was in the Dune novels, home of the spice. I do have a little counter for that. A little tile thing. And that is there. So it's a Baron. Because we're not playing with the alien races rules, that is not full of alien ships that are going to just sort of blow me out of the sky because they've heard about these crazy people nearby. So that is potentially colonizable if I get terraforming technology, which will let me colonize this one as well. But that was remarkably painless. If I move in here, that doesn't matter either. It's an empty hex basically already. I've just marked them out because that's where the Doomsday machines will come in. Alright, so colony ships have moved, miners have moved. Scout got tossed around all over the place but moved. So we are into the economic phase once more. So, I mean, I can just once do this. So, collect colony income. So let's see, we're up here now. So we have 20. Well, hang on, we got 20, 25, 30, 33, 36, 37 at the moment. So you see, we started off at 20, now we're at 37, so now we're getting a bit good. We did drop off, like Miner 1 did drop off a mineral 5 at Fionn. So we have 5 minerals. Still no pipelines because we're useless with that apparently. 42. We have 1 scout left alive still. So we're on 41 to spend. Basically, we're pretty good for colony ships at the moment. We don't have any terraforming right now. But there's a colony ship on the way to Omicron. There's a colony ship on the way to Vortigern. I'm not sure if I need to build any more of those, really. So I could build 2 cruisers. That would be 24. That would leave us with 17, which we could possibly use on some kind of technology, although I think we bought all the ones that are 15 or less. Yeah, it doesn't help us really, does it? In that regard. What if we didn't buy any technology? What if we bought a where's my sheet gone? Could buy another miner. That will help us mop all this stuff up. So that's 5. If we bought 2 cruisers and a miner, that would be 29. That would leave us with 12. Which I could use to build 2 scouts, or I could use to build another miner. Could use it to build a shipyard. or two. That might be nice. Can I build a shipyard at an existing colony? But Antares is a nice front line there. I could build one at Essen, but that's probably going to be annihilated by the Doomsday Machine that will inevitably roll through there. Antares is a little bit more nicely protected. Unfortunately, I got a whole bunch of colonies that are right at the back here, and I really want them up front. But I could build maybe 2 shipyards at Antares, and that will let me build cruisers out in the front, which would be nice. Yes, because shipyards are 6, and also 0 maintenance. So am I thinking so 2 cruisers? I'm gonna need my calculator for this. So 2 cruisers is 24, plus a minor at 5, plus 2 shipyards at 12 is exactly 41. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do 2 times CA, which is 24, because I can build them now because I've got ship size 3. Now, I have a problem. I can't build all that because I've got 4 shipyards, right? If I build 2 cruisers, that's everything. Now, wait, I can build the 2 shipyards though, because they don't require other shipyards to build them. They can just be built at colonies. So I am just going to build the 2 shipyards, which are 12 in total. So that's 36. That leaves us with 5 left over, which we can't build anything with, because when you build a new shipyard, you can't use it straight away to build, I believe. Let me just double check, but I think we've looked that up before. I think it was you can't use them in the same phase. Only be built at the planets that produce income. Maybe purchased and placed at multiple planets, but no more than 1 per planet. No more than 1 per planet. Oh, only 1 may be built at any 1 colony per economic phase. Damn it. Okay. So I could build 2 shipyards, but they're going to have to be in 2 different places, is the thing with that. Nuts. Grump. Doesn't actually say there. Interesting. Purchase units. I'm convinced that I saw something somewhere that said that you can't build a new ship. Or you can't build ships at a shipyard that's just been built. But I can't see that now. Alright. I'm just going to go with that because we've been playing it like that. Right, so that's slightly buggered my plans. Although Antares was where I was going to build it, right? I was going to build one there. I didn't really want to build it anywhere else. But now I'll have 11 points left over if I don't build one. Which seems like a bit of a waste. Fine, I'll build one at Essen. I feel that may be a slightly doomed move, but we'll see, I guess. If I can just try and find where the other thing is. Where's my other shipyards? Bases, shipyard, colony, BB. My decoys, there's my cruisers, there's my dreadnoughts, there's my battle cruisers, there's my DDs, there's my scouts. There's my shipyard. Would be the last one I find. Right, we'll have a shipyard there and there. So build one at Antares. Sorry, I'm not putting it on Athos. What am I doing? I'm putting it on Essen. Okay. And that gives us 5 left over, and that's it. Right. Colonies. That now turns into 5. That now turns into a 5. This turns into a 3. This does not turn into anything because it's passing through. This turns into a 1, however, and then the other one is passing through. Okay, I should probably start building pipelines soon. That would be nice. Also, I seem to have lost the destroyer. I'm pretty sure I should have 4 of them, and I've only got 3 of them. Right. Okay, whatever. And 2 cruisers, which I'm going to put down on the only place I can put them down, which is the home world, because that's the only place I can build them. Right. Excellent. Turn number 5. Now, I don't think that's when they show up, right? First Doomsday Machine shows up in turn 7. Right, okay. So, I think we're gonna, I'll keep playing for a bit longer. But I get to the point at least where we hit turn or the end of turn 7, or whenever they show up at the start or the end of turn 7. I think they show up in the economic phase in turn 7, so kind of the end. But maybe I'll be able to play till at least turn 8, and then we can see what they do. So I've got a bit longer to build up my forces. I guess, like, yeah, there isn't a way, unfortunately, to kind of fast forward all this stuff. And get right into it. There is a quick start thing, but they actually explicitly say don't start with that, because that means you're starting with all your home system revealed already, which kind of removes the fun of finding what's there and taking the risks and so on. But we're good, I think. So right, let's just keep at it, shall we? So turn 1 in phase 5. Right, well, most importantly, let's move the colony ships over to where they belong so we can get those. I didn't build a third miner, did I? No, I was going to, but I didn't have room to build him, basically. I'm going to drop this off at Cerberus. I'm going to head you out there to collect these 3 minerals. Now, I really would like to get these cruisers out because we bought the exploration tech last turn. So now we can actually use them to, basically crawl around the outside. I'm wondering, I think I will actually split them into 2 groups. And head them out, or send them out in opposite directions. So I'm going to put a group of 1 there, and the original one is going to be a group of 1 as well. So I'm going to send 1 cruiser out here, I'm going to send another one out there. Yeah, I'm a bit closer to one side apparently. I don't know if that was deliberate or not. Is that deliberate? What's the setup? This one. Oh yeah, I'm a bit closer on one side. So that's where my home world is. Right, moved them out. Oh yeah, my scout's still out there, isn't he? Well, he's feeling brave and or stupid. He's going to go over here and explore that hex. Right. So colony ships have landed. Miners are going places. I think this turn is going to be the turn where I build some pipelines. Right. Let's flip things. So we just have this to flip. It is. Oh, there's another danger. All of my scout ships are now dead. Died in the line of duty, exploring horrible, swirly things in space. Alas. Hats off to the scout. But that's okay because we've actually got an increased maintenance cost this turn because of our cruisers. Right, well, that was short and sweet. Turn number 2. I'm going to move them out here. I should have moved him along with them, but we would have to go around the long way here. But because I didn't realise these were further out, I thought they were symmetric. But now I can show you how the exploration tech works. So we've got a cruiser out here. He's not in this hex, but because we have our exploration 1 down here, we can actually kind of remotely explore this hex and flip it over and then decide whether to reveal it or not. And it is a danger, but we know it's a danger because we're looking at it remotely. So I think that means we can just actually remove it. Let's just have a look. If the marker is revealed, then it is a marker with a one-time effect, danger, etc. It is removed. So yeah, I'm going to reveal that as a danger, and we go, haha, big yellow swirly thing in space. We're going to ignore you because we know you're out there and now you're not a danger anymore. So poof, it vanishes in a puff of logic or something. So we don't move into that hex, we just explore it remotely with probes and things. Right. I don't actually think I've got anyone else to move, really. All my other ships are non-mobile. So that's that. Turn number 3. Oh yeah, actually we can explore here, can't we? So he's going to get there in turn number 3 and he's going to do the same thing. He's going to move out here and then he's going to scan that with the exploration tech as well. So looking at this, it's a warp point 1. Gonna reveal that. And looking at this, it's a mineral 10. So that's quite nice. We can send a miner out to pick that up. We'll get 10 minerals. But warp point 1 is interesting. So that kind of doesn't become real, if I remember rightly, until we find another tile that says warp point 1. Yeah, it cannot be used until another warp point with the same number has been discovered. Once a pair of connecting warp points is discovered, the other matching warp point counter of the number is discarded for no effective found. So there's actually 2 other warp point 1 counters in the total white tile area. And of course I've only got a very small subset of that white tile, so it may not even be out, but there's either no other warp point 1s, or there's 1 other warp point 1, or there's 2 other warp point 1s, and whatever the first one we find is, that's where the other end is. And if we find the second warp point or the third warp point 1, then that's just discarded. So yeah, it's basically just, this is empty space until that's been discovered. So that's fine. And we got the minerals there, which we revealed. Oh, crap, forgot to move my miners. Sorry. I will say I'm moving my miners again, because it doesn't really matter. But I meant to do that, I just forgot. So that miner picks that up, and that is it. And that's the end of turn 3. Right, back to the calculating again. Yeah. So, swore I'm just doing this. We have 5 CP left over. Again, hopefully you can see that. I can't really have a look at the screen from here. Right, so colony points, we have 20. We always get the 20 from the homeworld, but now we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 23, 24, plus the original 20, right? 20, 23, 24. We don't have anything else yet because these are just landed. So we've got 44, which is nice. We did drop off 1 mineral, so that's another mineral 5, so that's 49. No, it's not. It's 54, isn't it? Because we've got the 5 left over from the last turn. That's nice. Now we've got 2. These are 2 whole size each. So they are. That's how much your maintenance is. So that's 4 total. So I've got a total of 50 to spend now. Here, see, now we're ramping up. Thrum. 50, eh? Well, I really would like to get some more of these MS pipelines going. I also would like to get some more shipyards. I would also like to get some shipyard tech. So if we increase our shipyard technology here to level 2, all our shipyards can generate 1.5 points of hull. So our four shipyards here can actually generate a total of 6 hull points, which is nice because then I can build like 2 cruisers and 2 miners or something. That would be nice, and that will give us another 30 to spend. Terraforming could be nice because we know that there's 2 planets here that we could also build colonies on with terraforming. I could just build another shipyard here and here and possibly here on their own, which would be 18 points in total, and then also do terraforming. Then I'll have 12 left over for maybe a cruiser, and not get the shipyard tech this turn, because that'd be better next turn then, because then I'll have more shipyards to do. I could also consider building a base. Now bases are, as you might imagine, big stationary things that like Deep Space Nine basically. Bases cost the same as cruisers. Must have ship size technology of 2 or more. I do. But they're really good. They are they kind of basically always go first in battle. They've got a high attack number, they've got a good defense value, and they can take 3 hits. And if I've got planet killers on the way, it might be prudent to put them around planets and then be a bit more defended, right? So I'm wondering if I should do that. If I build terraforming, I can get colony ships out there, although I will have to build colony ships then, won't I? If I build 2 more, what would that be? So if I got 30 effectively to spend, if I build 2 colony ships at 6, that's 16, so I've got 14 left. But that will let me build them. And I can then build a base, or I could build some pipelines. That would be nice. Maybe pipelines would be more useful. That'll get me more points. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy the terraforming. That's going to knock me down to 30 points. I'm going to build, what was I going to say? 2 shipyards? No, colony ships. Damn it, I've got the shipyards and the colony ships. If I built 2 colony ships, that would be 14 left, and then the shipyards would be 12 each, wouldn't they? Which won't give me anything for pipelines, will it? Nuts. Grr. Okay. But 2 colony ships is 16. And then 2 more shipyards, again, is 12. So that's 28. That leaves me with 2. which can't really do much with. So yeah, I'm just figuring like I can build more colonies. That means he's gonna hopefully crunch on them before they crunch on my homeworld. Throw more fodder to the doomsday machines. Now, interestingly, because I built one at built a shipyard at Essen, and that is a single shipyard at the moment, I can actually build a colony ship there, and I can build a colony ship at Antares as well, and then I can basically upgrade this to 2 shipyards, because that's what else I bought. So the second shipyard is built while the first shipyard is building the colony ship in both cases. So that's what we're looking like at the moment. We got terraforming, we got 2 colony ships, 2 shipyards, we got 2 points left over, and we are entering turn number 6. After we upgrade our colonies, so that becomes 5. That becomes a an actual colony. There we go. And this becomes an actual colony as well. There we go. And sorry, this becomes a 3. I should have done that first. It's supposed to go highest to lowest. So that 3 converted, that 1 converted to a 3, and then those 2 converted to 1s. And these are brand new colonies that are going to go down there and up there next turn. Right, we're reaching our full potential now as we are building stuff. Right, turn 6, so they're going to come next turn, and the first one is going to arrive at one of these points. That's going to be interesting. And then, so it's going to be turn 7, then 2 turns later another one will arrive that's more powerful, and 1 turn after that, I believe, the third one will arrive that is even more powerful. So this is where it's gonna get ugly. I may finish this tonight if they annihilate me real quick. But yeah, I'll just keep going till like midnight. Got nothing better to do really. And we can see how far we get. Right, I'm just going to pop off for 1 second to get a drink, but I will be back in a minute. So don't go anywhere.